Okay, I'm going live. So if you want to, no, no, if you can leave. Don't feel because once you're in here, then you can't leave. So
How long
you
would it
can
be? An hour?
an hour, yeah.
Oh, God, I literally.
Oh, and that's now all live. Making final arrangements as we go live. And that's now all
Okay,
live.
I'll go.
You can go.
Sorry.
That's okay. And close the door when you.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Going through a couple of technical things at the last minute, it just was clear that my bandwidth was not going to manage streaming. The Wi-Fi wasn't going to manage the streaming on all three platforms. We're just having some internet issues. So hey everybody, oh, all the way from Germany, cool. So that changes all the plans. And so my daughter Bailey she was going to be in here helping to manage the comments on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube all at the same time, so that I could get as many of the comments as possible. But just realizing that it was going to the internet was going to be kind of bumpy, and so the best chance of having the most clear recording was to just go with one. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like to be on Facebook these days. So, and YouTube is my main platform. So here we are. Go ahead and start tapping. As you've likely heard me say, tap on a daily basis. It is, it's great stress relief and it's energy hygiene. So, in case you haven't heard me say that before, it's just like we have physical hygiene. We take showers on a regular basis. We brush our teeth on a regular basis. We don't wait until it's obvious that we need it. We don't wait until people are holding their nose around us and then say, oh, maybe now I should take a shower. But with stress and energetic and emotional discomfort, most of the time we're not dealing with it until it gets to the place where it's pretty drastic. So use this process on a daily basis to clear up that stuff. And uh, you don't have to be necessarily doing a tapping around. It doesn't have to be if there's something that's upsetting you. Just be clearing out ambient stress. So while we're here today for the next hour, just go ahead and be tapping the entire time. Take advantage of this opportunity to be clearing stuff out. So wow, from Pakistan, the UK, all over the place, and Switzerland. So yeah, while this particular live event is being prompted by the racial tension that's happening in the U.S. right now, it's not just an American problem. It is a worldwide problem, and also what we're going to be talking about here today is clearing out the fear of talking about important issues. So while the issue at hand is racism, and go ahead and be tapping because that brings up a lot of triggers for a lot of folks of all colors. And but the same fears that stop us from being willing to talk about racism are the same kind of fears that stop us from addressing any of the issues that block us from living the happiest, healthiest, most successful life that we can live. So, hold on real quick, one second. Last minute technical issue here. just letting letting the folks on Facebook know that we're over here on YouTube now. And just keep tapping. Take advantage of this opportunity to clear stuff out. And we'll really get going in just a minute. Alrighty. All right, now seeing Argentina, wow, Norway, but also seeing folks from here in the U.S., Nevada, Virginia. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Ohio. I thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone who is willing to join in this, because this is the thing: is that a lot of us don't want to face this. Frankly, I would rather not address the issue. And there's definitely the fear that throughout this next hour, because of my white upbringing, I may say things that someone might feel offended by, not because I'm intentionally trying to be offensive, but I may not be aware that I'm saying something that might be a microaggression or a misunderstanding about something, which is why I'm not teaching about racism. I'm not an expert on that. Uh, I am only here today to help us all move through that fear, that resistance that stops us from addressing issues. Because certainly for someone like me with white privilege, I could just not do this. It's like, I'll let other people handle it. It's someone else's issue. And for the world that I want to help create, I can't take that stance anymore. And I'm guessing that the reason that you are choosing to join me today is that you likewise have decided that it's not okay, um, that it's not okay for you to try to avoid it, and that it's important for you to address it. So I really appreciate you being here and saying, I'm going to clear what stops me. We okay, wanting things to settle down in the US. And here's the thing, though, is that certainly for a lot of us, certainly for white folks, it's like, okay, something like this stirs up, and we may be angry about it, and we may do what we think is our part of, we might post things that say Black Lives Matter, and hey, I'm in unity. And there's a part of us that says, and I hope it calms down, and then I can go back to ignoring it. And for many of us, for many people, that's not an option, and it's an ongoing thing. And there are these flare-ups where it suddenly comes to a much wider um, audience, a much wider awareness. But for some people, they're always aware of it. They can't not be aware of it. And the only way to change that is for all of us to say, I'm going to make a difference. It's no, and for many of us, we say, I'm a good person. I'm not a racist. And it's no longer enough to just not be a racist. And say, well, I'm not contributing to that. It's a matter of all of us to say, I'm going to be part of turning things around. And that starts with us being willing to talk about it. So let's start out now, and go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep, excuse me. Take a deep breath if you can. You have water, right? You have your hand sanitizer, right? We still have the other pandemic going on. These are both pandemics. Racism and coronavirus are both pandemics, and so we want to do all that we can to mitigate both. Now, join me. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And just with your eyes closed, just breathing comfortably. Breathing comfortably. And go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on inside. Notice how you're feeling physically. Notice how you're feeling emotionally. As we talk about racism, even as I say the word racism, just notice what goes on inside. Notice how you feel physically. Notice how you feel emotionally. Notice where you might feel defensive, where you might feel guilty, where you might feel angry, where you might feel sad, where you might just want to run away. Just for a moment, give yourself permission to be aware of that stuff. Just allowing yourself to be aware of all those feelings that come up when we talk about racism. And I absolutely understand that there are all kinds of inequality, and you are welcome to address for yourself internally what is going on throughout this call. Uh, Today, I'm focusing on racism. It's like when someone says Black Lives Matter, and people say, "Well, all lives matter," and that's a deflection. It's a matter of saying, "Okay, we are addressing a particular issue right now," and so that's what we're doing today. So just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on for you inside. Take take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Even though I feel all this discomfort, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel all this discomfort, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I feel all this discomfort about racism, all this discomfort about a lot of things. And I might be feeling so uncomfortable right now. I'm wondering, why the heck am I watching this? I could go watch Netflix right now. And part of me knows I need to address this to really be free. I deserve the freedom that comes when I face the discomfort and look for real solutions. And even though I feel uncomfortable, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else involved. Sorry, I'm just blocking the comments because some people are typing when they should be tapping. All this discomfort, all this discomfort. This is so uncomfortable to talk about. Even if I don't feel racism direct, even if I don't feel directly affected by racism, I might still feel uncomfortable about it. Because part of me knows it affects all of us. Because everything is energy, and we are all connected. And so when other people are being hurt, part of me feels that. Ending racism is good for me. And I need to address this. I choose to move from fear to love. And I choose to really love and appreciate myself for being willing to face this. Part of me wants to avoid this. There are a lot of things I want to avoid. Part of me just wants to run away. And when people bring up racism, I have all kinds of ways of deflecting. I might point out what other people are doing. I might get involved in whataboutism. What about what these people are doing? What about gender equality issues? And those might be valid issues, but it's deflecting from what I'm talking about in the moment. And it's a way that I run away. Not because I'm bad or stupid, not because I'm weak or lazy, but because I'm trying to take care of myself. I try to leave when it's uncomfortable. And if I have something else to talk about that I'm angry about, that feels comforting. It feels safer to be angry than scared. So I'd rather look at what someone else is doing wrong. And I don't need to feel guilty about that. It's not that I'm a bad person for avoiding this. It's what I felt I needed to do based on my programming, based on my upbringing. When I run away from the issue, it's because it doesn't feel safe for me to address it. And I love and forgive those parts of me. that are really just trying to protect me. And the fear is based on misunderstanding. I'm allowing myself to move through that fear. Because if I keep avoiding it, then I can't be part of the solution. And that kind of makes me part of the problem. If I don't take action to end racism, I'm helping to allow it to continue. And I'm not here to beat myself up for that. It's not about shaming myself. And it's not about letting other people shame me. I have been doing the best I could. If I could have done better, I would have. But I had all kinds of beliefs and fears that limited me. Because of my past programming. Because of all of these beliefs that I've been taught. I didn't have the freedom to do better. And now I'm clearing that crap out. I choose to love and forgive myself for what I have done and what I have failed to do. Because I was doing the best I could. And I'm allowing myself to see that that's no longer good enough. And that's why I'm here. Because part of me knows I can do better. I have it within me to do better. I'm clearing away what gets in the way. Underneath all of these fears and doubts, there's so much love. I'm clearing what isn't love. And love gives me the strength to show up. Love gives me the strength to listen. Even if I don't like what I hear. Because there's probably a lot of things that I need to hear that are not going to be comfortable. And I have the strength to get through that. I have the strength to show up and listen. I have the strength to get educated even when it's uncomfortable. To watch films like 13th. To read books like How to Be an Anti-Racist. There's a lot of information out there that part of me really doesn't want to get involved with. I was doing the best I could. I deserve to do better. I deserve the freedom that comes with education. I deserve the freedom that comes with facing these issues. I deserve the freedom that comes with stopping pointing the finger. I really want to point my finger at a lot of people. I want to blame a lot of people for the stuff that's going on. That's not what this call is about. I'm looking at myself. What can I do to be part of the solution? What am I not doing? And what stops me from doing it? And it's pretty much always fear. This fear of what people will think of me. This fear that people will be angry with me. If I choose to be an anti-racist, I might be helping people that I don't know. But I might be pissing off people that I do know. So it feels easier to walk away from it. But that's not helping them. Because racism is a disease. It's a contagious disease. And it's a disease that tells us it's not a disease. It's like contracting coronavirus and then convincing ourselves it's really a good thing. And trying to infect other people and telling them it's good that they're sick now. In fact, telling them they're not sick. Trying to convince people they're sick if they don't have the disease. And I want everyone to heal. I want everyone to be free from this disease. I choose to be part of the cure. And that starts with healing inside of me. I'm allowing myself to heal in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Just go inside and allow yourself to be aware of what you might be feeling. I'm going to try to catch up on some of the comments that people were writing while I was tapping. Not to shame you, but do the tapping, not the typing. Thank you, Maria. Oh, good. Most of you were not typing. And if there is feedback that you want, and like I said at the beginning, go ahead and keep tapping here. Like I said at the beginning, I am an imperfect human being, and so I will not say everything perfectly for everyone, and I may say things and probably am likely to say things that are uncomfortable, and part of you might find them offensive. It's not because I'm trying to offend anyone or trying to hurt anybody. It's simply a matter of, this is a topic that can push a lot of buttons. Um, hey, Manya, welcome. We're talking about clearing our discomfort around racism so that we can address it and talk about it and look for solutions. Uh, you know, and again, this will apply to any other issue that you want to take on, if it's gender equality or sexual orientation, whatever, you know, whatever your cause is, this will apply. But what I am here to talk about today is particularly the issue of racism and that part of us that wants to run away from dealing with it. And you know, we see this cycle over and over again where something really horrible happens and we all get worked up about it, and then for many of us, we just want to avoid it and pretend that it's not there. And this is something about it's just setting ourselves free. So for those of you who weren't at the beginning, here at the beginning, I'm not here to teach about racism. I'm just here to help us all, including myself. This is for me as much as anyone else. Clear the fear that stops us from stepping up and saying, I'm going to be an ally. I'm going to make the difference that I can make. I'm going to see what stops me. So I'm going to follow through with some of these. Just keep tapping. Um, yeah, you don't have to tap on the side of the hand. If you want to tap collarbone, or rub the sore spot, or just start tapping anywhere. There isn't an exact science to the points that I'm tapping on with the particular phrases, so that if I'm saying something on this point, it has to be right under the eye. Feel free to tap along with whatever points, wherever you want. uh, yeah, wouldn't it be great if there was a simple cure for racism? But this tapping is a cure for the fear and stress and resistance that stops us from addressing it, that stops us from going up and saying something. Whether it's maybe it's a family member making some racist comment, and for us to say, hey, that's not cool. So whatever, all those different places, and for catching ourselves, and as I mentioned in that first round, one of the key things that's good for all of us to do, uh, is to get some more education. I've been immersing myself. I watched the documentary 13th. Been listening to a book called White Rage. Very hard to listen to, and very enlightening. And it's one of those things of the truth will set you free. So, and it'll push a lot of buttons for folks, and a lot of people say, oh, it's this, and it's these people. This is not about, so we're not here to talk politics today, because racism goes across both sides of the aisle and all political stances. There are people of all parties um, who have these challenges. So it's not about the people out there. It's not about blaming. This is just for for you feeling the freedom to say, here's what's going on. Um, Thank you for bringing that up, Linda. That's something someone else brought up. So everyone, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And allow yourself to be aware of any sense of guilt that you feel about the issue of racism. Whether it's feeling guilty for racist thoughts or comments or actions on your part, or feeling guilty for not saying something to someone else who was behaving in a cruel way, in an insensitive way. Just allow yourself to be aware of that. It may come up as different feelings. Just allow yourself to be aware of, again, whatever discomfort might be coming up. Rate that on a scale of 0 to 10. Open your eyes. Even though I feel all this guilt, and even if part of you is saying, I don't feel guilty, feel free to say the word. You can say another word if something else feels more relevant, but you can also say guilt. It won't create guilt in you, it'll clear other things. So, even though I feel all this guilt, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel all this guilt, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel all this guilt about racism, about things that I've said, or things that I haven't said to others. And maybe I just feel an ancestral guilt. And even though I feel all this guilt, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else too, because I choose to be that free. Cover up the distracting comments. Tapping, not typing. All this guilt about racism, all of this guilt I feel about racism, all this guilt about things that I might have said, all this guilt about things that I might have thought, all this guilt about any racist thoughts I may have had. All this guilt about not taking action. Not saying something when somebody else was behaving badly. These times where I've seen people doing racist things or saying racist things. And I just held my tongue. And I just let it happen. And I feel all this guilt and shame about that. My guilt isn't going to help people of color. I can't say to my black friends, yeah, I didn't stop anyone from being racist. Hey, but at least I feel really guilty about that. My guilt won't end racism. Maybe I think I need it for motivation. If I feel guilty enough about racism, then I'll finally do something. And if I haven't taken action yet, it's because I just haven't felt enough pain of guilt yet. And I'm not bad or stupid for thinking this. This is what I've been taught by other people who feel guilty and then get defensive when people bring up racism. I might often get defensive, probably because I feel guilty. And that just shuts down the conversation. And part of me wants to hang on to that. But not only does that not help people of color, it imprisons me too. And I deserve to be free. This guilt is stopping me. I choose to clear what doesn't feel like love. Then I can let love motivate me. As I clear what doesn't feel like love, including guilt, then love is what I'm left with. And as I feel more love for all of my brothers and sisters, regardless of color, regardless of gender identity, regardless of religion, regardless of anything, that love will drive me to make right actions. I'll love people so much, how could I not take action? And everybody is my brother or sister. And I'm clearing my doubts about that. I'm clearing my fears about that. Allowing myself to acknowledge that truth. So I have the freedom to love people that much more. I choose to love the heck out of people. And that allows me to feel so much more love. It's an absolute win-win situation. And it doesn't harm anyone. There may be people who think they benefit from racism. And they might sometimes benefit financially. They might think their ego benefits. But it comes at way too high a cost. Somebody can be filthy rich and not free. I'm choosing to clear all the things that are not love, so that I can help other people clear what isn't love. And then there's just that much more love in the world. Hate can no longer be welcome. And there's fear underneath that. People might say it's pride. But it's fear. There's There's nothing to be proud of about hate. And that's just a misunderstanding that people have. And I'm clearing that up for myself. I'm clearing out all these old misunderstandings, all these old beliefs that people have held on to with defensiveness. All this fear that I've had, and all this fear that other people have had about seeing things differently, about seeing things correctly. Because if it's not about love, how correct can it be, really? I'm setting myself free. Clearing the anger and resentment, clearing the fear and the doubt, clearing embarrassment and humiliation, clearing guilt and shame. I'm clearing what doesn't feel like love. I'm allowing love to motivate me as I set myself free in body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Just go inside and check in with what's going on in there. And just go ahead and keep tapping and think about what's going on while I go back and check in with a few comments here. Yeah. So those feelings of disgust and all of that, and recognizing that you know, we're imperfect as human beings, and we let a lot of things motivate us that are not for our highest good. And fear and greed, well, and greed comes from fear. It's been said there's two things, two emotions. There's love and there's fear, and that which isn't love is fear. So hate and greed and racism and all of these things, all the things that motivate people to do things that harm other people, come from fear. And that's what we're here to do, is tap away our own fear. And as we clear fear from ourselves, since everything's connected, we're clearing fear from the entirety, from the collective whole. And so I'm really grateful to everyone who's here and is saying, I'm willing to start. And this is a great place to start, is to start clearing our own fear so that we can allow ourselves to listen. So we can allow ourselves to engage in conversation with others. So we can allow ourselves to get educated about what's going on. Um, so yeah, I don't know how to be an anti-racist. There's a book called How to Be an Anti-Racist. And part of it is just, if there's nothing else that you know what to do right now, get educated. There are a lot of there's a lot of great information out there right now. On Instagram, I've been uh, following a number of Black leaders who are posting information on how to be an ally or how to ally. uh, and so there's a lot of great stuff, and for me right now, a lot of it is just listening. That's why I wanted to be clear that I'm not here to teach about racism, because I'm not an expert on that. But my expertise is in helping people clear the emotional blocks that stop us from being who we can be. And your higher self wants to make a positive difference in this world. And it's overcoming the fears that stop us. So, just by being willing to show up and tap through this stuff, you're already saying, hey, I'm willing to do something, as opposed to just avoiding it. So thank you for that. And what I would like to do, as I do in most of my calls, is end with some guided imagery. So we've done a good 50 minutes of tapping. That's a lot of tapping. For some people, it's like, oh my goodness, that's so much tapping. Yeah, wait till you come to one of my live events. We tap all day long. Um, so, uh, yeah, so go ahead and, if you would, go ahead and close your eyes. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Just allowing that healing. You are worthy and deserving of healing. And so allowing that healing. Go ahead and imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love. Just like each of us is a unique expression of divine light and love. And allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face. Flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. That healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing. And allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose, allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards. 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And each and every time you hear me say the words deep sleep, With your permission, and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper quickly, soundly, deeply, and the physical body relaxes. And with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well being of body and mind deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some beautiful place. Some beautiful place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of this world. It might be at a beach, it might be in the mountains, or in a garden, in a forest, looking up at a bright blue sky, or looking up at a nighttime sky filled with millions of stars. Wherever you choose to be, some place that feels beautiful to you. And just allowing yourself to be present to that, allowing yourself to recognize that because you know what these things look like, that's pretty good evidence that as far as God, source, creator, universe, whatever word works for you, it finds you worthy and deserving of this. You are worthy and deserving of this abundance, this beauty, this magnificence. Same with everyone else on this planet. And if you were to see someone nearby and they were trying to enjoy the view too, but someone else was blocking their view, allow yourself the freedom to take the actions you can to help everyone experience the view. Because the person blocking the other person's view is so busy blocking the view that they're missing it too. There's so much beauty and abundance and magnificence here for all of us. And whatever has held you back in the past, for whatever reason, it was there. And you can give yourself permission to let it go now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. And allow yourself the freedom to experience as much joy as possible, including the joy that comes when you actively help other people experience more joy, more freedom. When you use your gifts and talents to make a positive difference for others. Allowing yourself to be open to the different ways that you can make a positive difference. Allowing yourself to be open to feedback, even when it's uncomfortable, because it can set you free to reach a whole new level of peace, freedom, joy. Allowing yourself to say yes to the best possible world for you. Allowing yourself to recognize that the best possible world for you is going to be pretty darn awesome for other people as well. If it's taken away from others, it's probably not as awesome for you as you'd been thinking. Allowing yourself to let go of that old confusion. Allowing yourself to really be free. You deserve that. Nothing is too good for you. You are worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer. Allow yourself to say yes to that. Allow yourself the personal freedom to experience that at ever greater levels. Allowing yourself to really love yourself. Giving yourself permission to really love yourself, because that's a win-win situation, because that love will benefit others as well. So, allowing yourself to feel more and more love. Let's go even deeper now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before, feeling much more loving towards yourself and others, much more open and free to take the actions of love to benefit yourself and others. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit, so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And now I go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level, so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. Welcome back. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you being here. I so appreciate your willingness to look at what you can free up in yourself so that you can make a positive difference in the world. Uh, it's up to all of us. It's up to all of us to make the world better for everyone. And, I truly believe that one person's highest good doesn't come at the expense of someone else's highest good. And so when we get that, we can really be free to find a world that works for everyone. And I so appreciate you guys being here and, being willing to look at things that are uncomfortable, being willing to muscle through the challenges and tap it away so that it doesn't always take muscling through it. So you don't have to just suffer through it, but tapping through and clearing the uncomfortable emotions that come up so that we can feel peace and we can hear people say things to us. And, so we can hear someone say to us, hey, I didn't appreciate your comment, or you're incorrect about this. And we can say, okay, we can get our ego out of it and look at how hearing that can benefit us and help us to do better, which is good for them and us. Being able to do better is the best thing for you. And so I so appreciate you being here for this. And happy to be alert. All right, guys. I love you so much. I love and appreciate you for being here. Thank you for clearing what doesn't feel like love so you can share love with the world. Uh, get educated, be loving to others, do what you can, drink water. Thank you for the reminder of that. Yeah, it's always good to hydrate when you do energy work. And I look forward to tapping with you again at some point. Take care, everybody.